gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. You may recall that a few weeks ago, President Obama came to this chamber and he addressed the chamber on health care before a joint session of the House and the Senate. During that session, I was privileged to be here, and I saw my colleagues on the far side of the aisle, the Republicans, waving pieces of paper during his speech. And I was wondering what they were. I couldn't imagine. It almost seemed like they wanted President Obama's autograph. I just didn't get it. I heard from one of my colleagues that this is what they called the Republican health care plan. I went over after the speech was over. I picked up a copy that was lying down on the Republican side, and it turns out that the Republicans' health care plan was a blank piece of paper. I inquired further, trying to find out exactly what the Republicans' health care plan is, and it's my duty and pride tonight to be able to announce exactly what the Republicans plan to do for health care in America. It's this. Very simply, it's a very simple plan. Here it is, the Republicans' health care plan for America. Don't get sick. That's right, don't get sick. If you have insurance, don't get sick. If you don't have insurance, don't get sick. If you're sick, don't get sick. Just don't get sick. That's what the Republicans have in mind for you, America. That's the Republicans' health care plan. But I think that the Republicans understand that that plan isn't always going to work. It's not a foolproof plan. So the Republicans have a backup plan in case you do get sick. If you get sick in America, this is what the Republicans want you to do. If you get sick, America, the Republican health care plan is this. Die quickly. That's right. The Republicans want you to die quickly if you get sick. Now, the Democrats have a different plan. The Democrats say that if you have health insurance, we're going to make it better. If you don't have health insurance, we're going to provide it to you. If you can't afford health insurance, then we'll help you to afford health insurance. So America gets to decide. Do you want the Democratic plan or do you want the Republican plan? Remember, the Republican plan, don't get sick. And if you do get sick, die quickly. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Good evening, Americans. Welcome to the Ed Show here on MSNBC. We got a Democrat with some guts. I'm a big fan of Congressman Alan Grayson, as in no gray area. He'll join us in just a moment for a conversation. But isn't it interesting how the Republicans are just so offended? They're kicking up dust over Grayson's comments. Grayson said the Republican health care plan is don't get sick. And if you do get sick, die quickly. He's relating to a lot of people. Now, when asked to apologize, this is a classic. This is how you apologize to the righties.
Several Republicans asked me to apologize. Well, I would like to apologize. I would like to apologize to the dead. And here's why. According to this study, health insurance and mortality in U.S. adults, which was published 2 weeks ago, 44,789 Americans die every year because they have no health insurance. That is more than 10 times the number of Americans who've died in the war in Iraq. It's more than 10 times the number of Americans who died in 9/11. I apologize to the dead and their families that we haven't voted sooner to end this Holocaust.
Nothing to offer into the health care debate. Well, joining us tonight is Congressman Alan Grayson, the new hero on the lefty block. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight.
Thanks, Ed, and I'm a big fan of yours as well. I listen to you on satellite radio all the time. That's a free plug.
It is. I appreciate that. That would be channel 167 on X.
Let's be specific.
All right. Congressman, do you take anything back? I mean, are we going to see more of this?
Absolutely not. The people who should be apologizing, the Republicans, they're the ones who should apologize for dragging us all through the mud here while we're just trying to improve health care in America. That's all we're trying to do.
Now, the thing I liked about it is that you had charts. I mean, this was planned out. You must have known that this was going to kick up a lot of dust. Did you fire and fire for effect?
Listen, Ed, we've got to get past this point where everything is stalled, where the Republicans are winning just through inertia. We have a majority. We have to use it. We have to change America. That's the promise that President Obama made. We have to keep it.
I agree with you on that. Congressman, I'm sure you're aware of how they're pushing back on you. The National Republican campaign has said this about you. They're going after your character, and I think they're trumping up a bunch of stuff. But here it is. This is an unstable man who has come unhinged, the depths of which Alan Grayson will sink to defend his indefensible comments know no bounds. This is an individual who has established a pathological pattern of unstable behavior. What's your response to that, Congressman? I mean, this is character assassination. What's your response to that?
You know what my response is? Whatever. America is sick of you, Republican Party. You are a lie factory. That's all you ever do. Why don't you work together with the Democrats to solve America's problems instead of making stuff up?
Well, they are making it up. Now, not to offend you in any way, but we did go back and check your background, and we did find out that you are a Harvard grad, correct?
That's right.
Okay, and you also worked with Judge Antonin Scalia, correct?
Among others, yes.
Along with Robert Bork, correct?
Yes, and Judge Mikva, who was the President's counsel, and also Justice Ginsburg. And when I finished working with Justice Ginsburg, I went to work for her husband's law firm.
And you also have put together a very successful business before you ran for office, so you came from the private sector to go do what you're doing in Washington right now.
That's right, a multi-billion-dollar business traded on the New York Stock Exchange.
Okay, so what we have here is a classic example of character assassination. We also checked your background. You don't have anything in your background at all about unstable behavior. And I want the American people to know that this is how they play the game when you have the courage to come out and stick it to them with the facts. And the fact is that people in this country are dying because they are sick and they are being excluded for coverage because of a pre-existing condition.